We give a lot of love to the Giants bullpen, and they're very deserving of that. They have the #1 bullpen in all the majors. But what about as a whole, the lowest team ERAs in Major League Baseball? The Mets, the Royals, the Twins, the Giants clocking in there with a 3.25 team ERA and the #4 spot. Of course, they're heading to Detroit to face the Tigers, who are sitting just behind them in team ERA. So that's going to be a tough matchup. You're going to need the offense to really step it up in this Detroit series as the Giants head off to Detroit after this. But the starters as a whole, the team combined as a whole, pitching-wise, has been top-notch.
It certainly has, and that's been the recipe for a long time here. And that's how the team was built. We talked about it in the pregame. Everybody's clamoring about offense, and sure, you want to score more runs. Some guys need to pick it up a little bit, but if you pitch, you're always in the game. Good pitching gets good hitting out. Keep the score down on the other team, you have a chance to win. So they did make a big effort, Alex, this spring about situational hitting. They're doing that. They're playing clean defense. And that's always been the recipe. We talked about stolen bases. They actually stole the base here. And I'd like to say they do attempt to steal more than people see. I think Friday night they attempted 4 steals. One, they had the interference when I정후의 stole. He was out, but a couple other guys started. There's a foul ball where the ball's put in play and they don't get credit for a stolen base attempt. So they're trying to do everything they can. And the last point on that is when you're losing, it's hard to try to steal bases and take chances. There's only a couple guys on this club who are real base stealers. And when you're behind in a score, I've never worked for any manager that wanted to steal when the team was losing. And you look around the league when you go over the scouting reports, when the team is ahead, they take more chances, and all managers in the league are more aggressive.
Yeah, I think sometimes there's all these advanced stats. We were talking about expected batting average during this game.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. Sometimes it's really simple. You look at the last week plus 1-3, 1-3, 4-4, 0-3. That's their runs scored. So they're not scoring right now. They're also 5-3 in those games because, to your point, the pitching has been excellent all season long. The bullpen's the best in baseball. The starters are starting to join that. Webb and Ray have been there all year, but the whole group is starting to join that party. And we saw on the last road trip some sloppy defense that hasn't been there the last week. So this is how they've always won games. This is how you guys won games. It can be really difficult to watch at times because you're watching at home and you're going, even in the 9th inning there, you kind of felt there's opportunities during this game to put it away. And it's a 2-run game, and it puts Ryan Walker in a spot where you give up a couple hits. We couldn't see exactly there on the ball down the left field line, but it's 4 or 5 feet away from that game being tied. So these games are pressure-packed. It's why Dwayne Kuiper always mentions torture. It's harder to watch, but this is a way to win at Oracle Park, and with all the pitching depth they have right now, this is a way for them to win.
Well, and to your point, they did have opportunities. 0 for 8 the Giants were with runners in scoring position today. They left 5 men on base. We got to give some credit to the bullpen, and especially specifically Randy Rodriguez, who has been lights out for the Giants this season. He's a quiet leader in the bullpen, letting his play speak for itself. He's not been charged with a run in 21 of his 22 appearances this season, Wody. A .79 ERA. That's tops in the National League with a minimum of 20 innings pitched.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? The numbers speak for themselves. And, I've said it in the past. Here's a guy 2 years ago in Sacramento. He threw 98 to 100, but he had no command. I mean, I tip my cap to him and the pitching coaches because he's developed very, very quickly. He's throwing strikes, and obviously his bread and butter, he's got a very good fastball, but his location in the zone is much better than it used to be. And that pitch you saw right there is a slider. That's his second best pitch, fastball slider combination. And the thing about it, when you see him late in the game, you want to send a lefty to the plate because he has that good slider. And what does he do? He has a better batting average, better facing lefties than right-handers. So they're in trouble when Randy's in there.
Yeah, and also one thing that I think is noteworthy, Pavs, he raised his strikeout rate from 24% last year to over 38% this season.
He brought up the 2 years ago. I can't remember many development stories that have been as interesting as his over the last year. It wasn't 2 years ago. It wasn't only 2 years ago. I mean, last spring, he couldn't throw a strike either. He went to AAA all of a sudden late in March, early in April, starts throwing strikes in AAA. He's all of a sudden just pounding the zone. This guy who's always had trouble finding the strike zone, the stuff has always been electric, and just out of nowhere, he's in the zone, and it has just never gone away. It was there all of last season. We saw how good he was last year. It was there this spring. He was dominant this spring. He has been. I asked Patrick Bailey a week ago about the bullpen. He said he thinks he's better than anybody in the National League right now. And the nice thing, if you're the Giants, I know it got a little hairy in the ninth inning today, but generally they feel good about their ninth inning, good about the eighth. They have Camilo Duvall and this guy, who neither one of them is pitching in the final 2 innings, but you can, as you guys did many times over the years, you can turn these into 5-inning games and really make them effective 5-inning games. And it's because they have Randy Rodriguez and Camilo Duvall, who might be like 2 of the 5 best relievers in the National League this season, and neither one of them is pitching in the 8th or 9th.
Yeah, and right now, Randy Rodriguez does sit atop the National League as far as ERA goes. Let's get a look at the Giants' 9th inning. You mentioned it got a little hairy there at the end of the game, and it did. Ryan Walker coming in to close out this game for the Giants, and we've seen him struggle at various times this season. In his last 2 or 3 appearances, he's been fine, but he finds himself in some trouble again today, Wody.
Well, he got a ball out over the plate. It actually wasn't a bad pitch, but Abrams haven't gotten a hit all series, and he got one away, and he slapped it to left field. That wasn't a good pitch, down and into a lefty. This guy's been a very good hitter for them. He got a double as well. But you know what? When you're in a 9th inning, and your job is to close games, and here he goes, he gets... That one scared everybody right there. We were all blowing to blow that ball foul when
we
that
were doing
ball
the
was
Ramos.
hit. Yeah, the Ramos push it that way. He ends up getting low out, and then of course he gets the fly out right here. But it's not an easy inning to pitch. He gave up 2 doubles, really only 1 bad pitch there. And he got the job done. I mean, it's never going to be, it's not always going to be 1, 2, 3 and perfect pitches.
Yeah, I mean, velocity was good. He threw his 2nd hardest pitch of the season. And I think he had some issues earlier this season. I think this was completely different than those ones. He had no command, and just it was a real problem finding the strike zone. This time his command was fine. He had command of his sinker there. The velocity on the sinker was outstanding. That's something he's been really excited about the last couple of weeks, is just that ticking up and him feeling better on the mound. It's just, sometimes, especially 2 of the better left-handed hitters in the National League right now, 2 guys who are 2 of the better young left-handed hitters. Sometimes they get you for a run, but he found his way out of it.
Yeah.
It was save number 10 on the season for Ryan Walker. As the Giants get this 1-run win over the Nationals, they take the series. Let's get a look at our daily jackpot right now. This brought to you by River Rock Casino. And speaking of the Giants offense, they didn't have a ton of it today, just 5 total hits, those 3 runs scored, 1 coming on a home run. And that was this off of the bat of Sam Huff. It was a 7-pitch at bat. And Michael Soroka just leaves the fastball over the plate, and Huff able to send it out of the park.
Yeah, you could tell right away. They were hunting that fastball today. Here's another one. They hit the fastball hard. Yaz hits the ball off the wall here that led to another run. But that was it. That was the plan. Unlike last night, where the pitcher had great movement, he was changing speeds. This guy was a little bit better hitting, you might say. So the Giants did a good job. They had a good game plan. They jumped on the heater. They scored the 3 runs. Huff had a nice swing on that one right there, and it was good to see him get in the mix.
He has power. He's always had power. I mean, he was a Futures game participant. He's always had the raw tools. Just needs to put it together. So I think they're hoping for a little bit more of that over the course of the year. It doesn't matter what the average looks like, I think, when a guy's playing two games a week. But if you can give him something like that from the bottom of the lineup, that's pretty valuable.
Yeah, the Giants pick up win number 31 on the season with this 3-2 win over the Nationals today. The Giants sitting at 2nd in the NL West behind the Dodgers. Coming up next, we'll get you back out to Nationals Park to hear from Bob Melvin. That's after this break. From Nationals Park, congratulations on the win, Sam. Thanks for taking the time to stop by. The Giants, you guys aren't overpowering teams with offense, but you had to work a 7-pitch at bat to get that home run. You worked hard for that one. What were you seeing from Michael Soroka today?
Got good stuff. Just trying to get a good pitch to hit, be on time for the fastball. Put a good swing on it, and luckily it went over the fence barely, but, we got that run and ended up helping us win the game today.
Yeah, home run is a home run. Barely over the fence works too, Sam.
Not only a home run, Sam. Whoa here. Great swing, head down, short to the ball. It's not easy. I don't think people realize just how difficult it is to play once or twice a week and have your timing at the plate. What do you do to stay ready? Can you talk to that a little bit? Because you've done this a little bit in your career.
Yeah, just working with hitting coaches, making sure everyone understands that we got to do stuff every day. Got to take at bats, got to do situational stuff. My BP is mainly situational, guys in scoring position, just trying to play that low ball game and put a good swing on it. Don't try and get too big.
Hey, Sam, it's Alex. I mean, we've become used to this from Robbie Ray. It seemed like today, every time you guys ran into trouble, he would elevate that fastball and get out of a jam. What was the game plan today, especially against the left-handers on the other side?
Just tackle with his fastball. I think when he's successful, we got his fastball going, and his other stuff plays good off that. So, you know, he's been looking good. I think he worked today, he battled, but we got him in his plan, and we kind of just stuck with it, just tried to make it easy on him. And, you know, guys made some good plays, and we also, you know, just I don't want to go away from what he does best, and that's his heater, and his off-speeds play really well off that.
Hey, Sam, a lot of people talking about the Giants offense. I know you guys are feeling it just being a little bit sluggish. What's been the message inside the clubhouse as you guys are in this lull of an offensive period right now?
We just got to battle. I think every guy in this lineup is going to do something. It's not just one individual person. I think we all are going to work hard and pass the baton. If it's not our turn and we take a walk, we hit a runner in, hit a sac fly, get a bunt down. I think we just got to make sure we're situationally sound, and you know we're playing for each other. We're not just one individual team. We're all a team, and we want to win baseball games. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Sam, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win. We'll let you go celebrate with your teammates.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Robbie's obviously been pretty effective all year, but what made his fastball particularly effective today?
It just seemed like it had a little more hop on it. He was getting some, you know, the swings at the top of the zone, and it's always, you know, hard for the hitter to kind of figure out where that top is. And certain days the vert's a little better than others, and it just kind of jumps on you. It looks good, and then you start your swing and you just can't get to it.
What does it do for this team being able to have such an effective 1-2 combination with both Logan and Robbie, knowing that they can give you 6-7 innings on any given day?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's great, and that's what veteran guys do, and they're used to going out there and doing that. They're, you know, inspired to do it. It's all they think about. Win and loss are important to them, and typically when it's important to you, you're out there for a little bit longer. So, you know, to this point, both have been so good, and here Robbie's sitting there with a 7-0 with a 2.56 and didn't walk anybody, and it's important with a team like that runs.
What kind of boost did you guys get from Sam, not only working with Robbie, but also the home run playing?
Home runs are big. We haven't seen a ton of those here recently, so I mean, he hit top of the wall and bounced over, but we'll take it. That's what he does. He's got some power, and when you don't play all that often, if you can chip in with a home run like that, especially in a 3-2 game, it's really important. Caught 9 innings, caught some of our best relievers there at the end, and has done a nice job with Robbie.
Just given the struggles against starters of late, give a boost that you were able to get those runs early.
Yeah, and look, anytime you can score early in the game and you score first, there's a momentum to it. So it would have been nice to add on a little bit more as the game went along, so we don't have to grind on it so hard, you know, at the end. But you know, it's something we haven't done here recently, and you know, we're ahead 3-0 all of a sudden, and that's a pretty good feeling.
Memorial Day is kind of the first big milepost in a regular season. Just how do you assess where the team is at this point in the season?
Look, we're in a pretty good spot where we are. I mean, the division has kind of come down a little bit as far as the record goes, but we're still right in the middle of it, and that's where we intend to be all year, and that's where we set our sights at this point in time. You know, you always think that there's another win or two in there that you could have, but, you know, at this point in time, we'll take it.
I feel like you went especially heavy on the fastball today. What about that pitch was really working?
Yeah, you know, this is a tough team. A lot of, you know, power hitting lefties. Kind of the first, you know, team that's really kind of throwing a lot of lefties at me. So I think, you know, today the game plan going in was fastball heavy, and then just try to keep them off balance with all the other stuff. So we kind of stuck with it, and ended up working out pretty well.
I think you ended up throwing your hardest pitch in that last at bat against Boyd. Did you just kind of understand the thing there a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was getting close to my limit. I knew it was getting close to me coming out of the game. 90 pitches, so it was just kind of in that moment. Got on base, just empty the tank.
We talked about in the spring how this was the season target when you joined the Giants, especially having fully of the offseason to be on a run like this. Just what kind of confidence did you give you going forward, especially given that it has been a while since you've gone the full season?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm just trying to, for me, it's just going out one game at a time and giving my team a chance to win every time out. I think that's my goal, is just keeping us in the ball game. But it definitely feels good to be able to do that this consistently. So just looking to keep it rolling.
About how this coaching staff is operating as a whole, you guys feed off of each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one guy goes 6-7 innings, you want to do the same. I mean, I think that the energy, the focus, the intent, it's infectious, and I think that we're just building off of each other. We're just trying to go out there and do what we're supposed to do as starting pitchers, and that's set the tone. Yeah, it was huge to see him get a home run right there. He's been putting together some really good at-bats, and to see it paying off like that, couldn't be happier for him. And behind the plate, he's been great. We called a great game today, and we won, so it was great.
Canadian tuxedo start
day attire, yeah.
정말 이정후는 야구를 위해 태어난 사나이다. 워싱턴 DC에서 열린 경기는 그 사실을 다시 한번 증명해주는 무대였다. 샌프란시스코자이언츠의 간판타자 이정후는 이날도 자신의 존재감을 강하게 각인시켰다. 3타수 2안타 2득점. 겉으로 보면 화려한 기록은 아니지만 그 이면에는 감탄을 자아내는 집중력과 탁월한 배트 컨트롤이 담겨 있었다. 4회 초 첫 번째 타석에서 이정후는 투수의 초구를 정확히 읽어내며 날카로운 라인 드라이브 안타를 만들어냈다. 중견수 앞을 가르는 그 강한 타구는 단순한 안타가 아니었다. 분위기를 바꾸고 투수를 흔들며 팀의 방역 신호탄이 된 결정적인 한 방이었다. 이정후가 타석에 들어서는 순간 관중석의 시선은 하나로 모인다. 그는 그만큼 믿고 보는 타자다. 7회 초에는 또 한 번의 예술이 펼쳐졌다. 볼넷을 얻어낸 뒤 과감한 주루로 두루도루를 시도했지만 뜻밖의 타자방의 판정으로 아웃 선언. 억울한 상황에서도 그는 단 한 번의 감정적 동요도 없었다. 오히려 담담한 표정으로 팀을 응원하며 다시 타석을 준비했다. 그런 태도가 진정한 클래스다. 이런 장면 하나하나가 이정후라는 선수를 더욱 특별하게 만든다. 그리고 9회 초 극적인 승부처에서 또다시 침착하게 볼을 골라내며 출루에 성공한 이정후는 2득점 중 결정적인 순간을 만들었다. 단순히 타율 2할 8푼 1이라는 숫자로는 다 설명할 수 없는 가치. 그는 매 타석에서 계산된 눈, 반응 속도, 배트 스피드를 보여주며 히트 제조기로서의 면모를 유감없이 발휘했다. 무엇보다 인상 깊은 것은 그의 멘탈이다. 납득하기 힘든 스트라이크 판정, 억울한 아웃 선언, 거친 슬라이더 공략 등 거센 도전을 받으면서도 그는 끝까지 흐트러지지 않았다. 어떤 투수가 나오든 어떤 상황이 펼쳐지든 이정후는 자신만의 방식으로 답을 내놓는다. 바로 그 점이 그를 한국 야구의 자존심, KBO의 유산, 그리고 이제는 MLB가 주목하는 천재 타자로 만들고 있는 것이다. 이날 경기에서의 활약은 단순히 개인 성적을 넘어 팀 전체의 활력을 불어넣었다. 비록 장타는 없었지만 그의 존재만으로도 상대 투수들은 집중력을 잃었고 팀 동료들은 분위기를 탔다. 이정후는 단지 안타를 치는 타자가 아니다. 그는 경기를 바꾸는 선수다. 야구는 결국 순간의 선택과 집중에서 승부가 갈린다. 그리고 그 순간을 가장 잘 활용하는 자가 진정한 스타다. 이정후는 그 순간을 만들어내는 천재다. 앞으로도 그의 한 방, 그의 한 걸음, 그의 한 표정에 주목해보자. 다음 영상에서도 이정후의 또 다른 전설이 펼쳐질 것이다. 끝까지 함께하자.